Hello and welcome to EduMiles Academy. In today's session, we'll discuss some important newspaper articles from 18th October 2022. For more study materials and updates, you may also join our WhatsApp group. We'll provide the link of the group in the description below. So this is the list of topics that we'll cover in today's session. Let's start. Now the first article is about the digital banking units, जिसे शॉर्ट में DBUs कहा जाता है. अब इस DBUs के बारे में हम आज बात करेंगे. अब देखिए ये जो DBUs है, this were actually announced by the finance minister in the last budget of 2022-2023. But हाल ही में the Prime Minister of India, that is Narendra Modi ने now he has inaugurated 75 digital banking units, ठीक है, through a video conferencing. अब उन्होंने कहा है that the new units, ये जो DBUs है, now this will empower the digital services and provide a robust digital banking infrastructure for the country and simplify lives of the common people. ठीक है, and especially आप देखोगे जो बैंक consumers across the nation, now they have quite welcomed this initiative. We'll look at the services that are going to be provided through the DBUs. Now this can be important from GS paper to government initiatives point of view and also from GS paper 3 Indian economy point of view. This has been taken from the Indian Express. So as I was saying about the current context, the Prime Minister of India has dedicated the 75 DBUs across 75 districts to the nation. Now, देखिए जो 75 DBUs है, 75 district है. Now, why do you think this number has been focused so much? Because current जो year है, this is the year that marks the 75 years of India's independence. And this is the reason why we are also celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And as part of this program only, the 75 DBUs have been inaugurated by the PM Modi. So अब देखिए जो DBUs है, these were actually announced in the budget only, but currently इसे announce किया गया है, currently इसे बस inaugurate किया गया है. So let's see कि ये DBU है क्या. The DBU is basically a specialized fixed point business unit or hub set up by the scheduled commercial banks. So the banks like the SBI and PNB, they would be having their own DBUs. ठीक है. Now these are physical unit है. ठीक है. These are physical unit जो बनाया जाएगा and this basically would be owned by the bank only. ठीक है. They are fixed point business unit है. तो housing certain minimum digital infrastructure for delivering digital products and services. तो यहाँ पे जो products and services है, for example मान लीजिए like for applying a loan, applying a credit card, opening a saving banks account. So these are the facilities that would be provided by the DBU, and this would be done in a self-service mode at any time. Any time का meaning है that they would be 24/7 operational and also that they will be operable on a self-service basis. That is, यहाँ पे no regular bank employees will be there to provide these services. Obviously, there would be person representing the bank who would be helping in case of a person needed some kind of assistance. Other than that, यहाँ पे regular bank employees नहीं रहेगा. The DBUs are being set up with the objective to ensure the benefit of digital banking reach every nook and corner of the country and will cover all the states and UTs. तो यहाँ पे सरल सा मीनिंग यही है कि ये जो DBUs है, अब देखिए बहुत सारे आप देखोगे the people living in the rural areas, ठीक है, या आप कह सकते the people who live like below the poverty line, now they are not aware of the banking facilities, especially the services which are a part of the digital banking infrastructure. तो उनके लिए भी यहाँ पे basically अगर हम इसे expand करेंगे तो every state and every UT, तो हो सकता है यहाँ पे जितना भी लोग है the rural population will also be able to take the benefits and also be able to reap the benefits from the digital banking infrastructure, right? उसके बाद यहाँ पे आप बता सकते हैं कि about the DBUs that they will be, यहाँ पे जो benefit है बताया गया है कि it will enable those who do not have ICT technology, यहाँ पे that is information and communication technology. अब देखिए ऐसा तो नहीं है कि every person has got the smartphone and tablets or laptops, है कि नहीं, and you know कि digital banking जो है इसके लिए या मान लीजिए जो net banking वगैरह है, तो ये सब के लिए जो net यहाँ पे जरूरत पड़ता है, उसके बाद you also require a smartphone, right? तो जिनके पास नहीं है उनको भी ये DBUs will be helping them. ठीक है. उसके बाद they will also assist those who are not tech savvy to adopt digital banking. आपको पता होगा the older generation, now they are not very sound in digital banking services. For example online transfer, for example the UPI के बारे में. तो ये सारा जो मतलब जो ये banking units है, now this will also help or empower the people who have less knowledge about the digital banking. Now let's look at the functions and the services that will be provided by the DBUs, that is the digital banking units. तो देखिए सर्विसेज पे बताया गया अबाउट द ओपनिंग ऑफ सेविंग्स अकाउंट, देन इट कैन बी यूज्ड टू चेक द बैलेंस, देन प्रिंटिंग और अपडेटिंग द पासबुक और ट्रांसफर ऑफ फंड फ्रॉम वन अकाउंट टू अनदर. So normally and traditionally what we need to do is that as bank consumers we need to visit the bank for such services और हमें लाइन लगाना पड़ता है. Now this also is equivalent to wasting our time because बहुत ज़्यादा मान लीजिए अगर बैंक का consumers है then almost कुछ यहाँ पे services के लिए we tend to waste our whole day in those services, है कि नहीं. तो ऐसे केस में अगर डीबीयूज अगर फंक्शनल हो जाते हैं इन ऑल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स और लाइक थ्रू आउट इंडिया, उस केस में क्या हो जाएगा, नाउ द कंज्यूमर्स ऑफ द बैंक विल बी रिक्वायर्ड नो लॉन्गर टू स्टैंड इन सच लॉन्ग क्यूज, ठीक है, बिकॉज ये जो यूनिट्स है, नाउ दिस यूनिट्स आर ओन्ड बाय दी scheduled commercial banks only, but they can be self operable in nature, ठीक है। तो आप यहाँ पे जाके जो भी फंक्शंस यू नीड, जो भी सर्विसेज है वो आप यहाँ पे अवेल कर सकते हो, दैट इज इन अ डिजिटल मैनर, ऑलराइट। अभी जो डीबीयूज है, नाउ दिस विल आल्सो फैसिलिटेट ऑनबोर्डिंग टू गवर्नमेंट क्रेडिट लिंक स्कीम लाइक थ्रू द जन समर्थ, यहाँ पे जो पोर्टल है उसके भी आप यहाँ पे क्रेडिट लिंक स्कीम आप कर सकते हो, एंड ऑल्सो टू अवेल द एंड टू एंड डिजिटल प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ स्मॉल टिकट एमएसएमईज एंड रिटेल लोन्स। तो एक बार यहाँ पे जितने भी सारे फंक्शंस है एक बार देख लीजिएगा, बिकॉज if a question is asked, it is also important to mention the functions of the DBUs. Now there are certain differences between DBUs and traditional bank. तो पहले तो मैंने आपको बता ही दिया था कि ट्रेडिशनल बैंक में जो भी सारा काम है, जो फंक्शंस है, नाउ दे आर बीइंग ऑपरेटेड बाय अ पर्सन, बाय अ बैंक एम्प्लॉय, लेकिन DBU जो है इट इज सेल्फ ऑपरेबल इन नेचर। नाउ DBU देखिए एडवांटेज क्या क्या है, नाउ दे विल प्रोवाइड द बैंकिंग सर्विसेज इंक्लूडिंग कैश डिपॉजिट एंड विड्रॉल 24/7। तो करेंटली अभी भी आपको पता होगा कि देयर आर सर्टेन बैंक्स व्हिच फ्रॉम व्हिच यू कैन विड्रॉ मनी और व्हिच कैन बी यूज्ड टू डिपॉजिट मनी, बट दिस विल बी ऑपरेशनल फॉर 24/7. The services of DBU shall be provided digitally. The people do not have connectivity. The people who have no connectivity or computing devices can do banking transaction from the DBU in a paperless mode. मान लीजिए कि आपके पास अगर इंटरनेट बैंकिंग नहीं है, तभी भी आप यहाँ पे DBU में जाके जो भी आपको सर्विसेज चाहिए आप वो अवेल कर सकते हैं. The bank staff will be available to help and guide users for banking transactions in assisted mode. तो यहाँ पे देखिए बस वो रहेंगे असिस्टेंस के लिए, बट नॉर्मली जो यहाँ पे यूनिट रहेगा ना, द यूनिट विल बी सेल्फ ऑपरेबल इन नेचर. The DBU will also help in providing digital financial literacy and create awareness for adopting digital banking. तो जो भी population है, the rural population, the older generation, उनको भी help होगा in in every the features of the digital banking services. तो देखिए यहाँ पे इंडिया का और भी बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव्स है which are, या आप कह सकते हो कि which can be asked directly in examination. Now this are related to the financial inclusion, कि किस तरीके से the entire population of India can be brought under the banking services. जैसे कि प्रधानमंत्री जनधन अकाउंट, जहाँ पे the villagers या the farmers are motivated, are encouraged to open bank account, because आजकल आप देखो कि जितना भी सारा स्कीम है वो सारा स्कीम आप देखिएगा वो डीबीटी है, ठीक है, जो यूनियन गवर्नमेंट का स्कीम रहता है. डीबीटी मतलब डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर, जहां पे जो पैसा जो है वो आपको कोई और नहीं देगा, आपको गवर्नमेंट डायरेक्टली पैसा देगा आपके बैंक अकाउंट पर, है कि नहीं. उसके बाद यूपीआई के बारे में आपको पता है, देन द डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर एंड द फिनटेक इंडियन स्टैक. तो यहाँ पे ये सारा इनिशिएटिव के बारे में थोड़ा जान लीजिएगा. इट कैन बी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम द फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. एंड बेस्ड ऑन दिस टॉपिक देयर इज अ प्रीलिम्स प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन. प्लीज आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. The next article is about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So the news says that Prime Minister Modi has led the tributes for former President APJ Abdul Kalam on his birth anniversary, 15th of October. So recently it was his birth anniversary. So I have basically taken up this article because on personal level he's one of my favorite person who I get inspired from. And regarding teaching also, he has been, he was not a professional teacher, but he was an extraordinary teacher for all the kids. He considered education as a key factor in shaping the future of the nation and children as well. So he believed that it can help youngsters to be confident and build their personality. So on teaching level, I get a lot of inspiration from him. So अब देखिए नॉर्मली मैं यहाँ पे ये जो एरिया है, तो यहाँ पे मैं न्यूज़पेपर का जो आर्टिकल जो स्क्रीनशॉट लगाता हूँ मैं, लेकिन इस बार यहाँ पे आई हैव टेकन अप अ कोट which is one of my favorite quote from APJ Abdul Kalam. So it says that teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me. And this, अगर मेरे केस में भी अगर if people remember me as a good teacher, then that will be the biggest honor for me as well. ठीक है. So now this can be important for prelims and mains के लिए. There can be questions from his life. या मान लीजिए in ethics के केस में भी हम उनके बारे में बता सकते हैं from the important personalities point of view. And this has been taken from the Indian Express. So now about him. So he was born on 15th of October 1931 at Rameswaram in Tamil Nadu. ठीक है. तो हिज बर्थ एनिवर्सरी इज सेलिब्रेटेड एनुअली एज नेशनल इनोवेशन डे एंड वर्ल्ड स्टूडेंट्स डे. तो इंडिया के केस में इट इज ऑब्जर्व्ड एज द इनोवेशन डे और वर्ल्ड के केस में इट इज ऑब्जर्व्ड एज द वर्ल्ड स्टूडेंट्स डे. ठीक है, एनुअली ऑन 15th of October. Now he graduated in science from St. Joseph's College, Trichy in 1954 and specialized in aeronautical engineering from Madras Institute of Technology in 1957. And he is one of the most distinguished scientists of India with the unique honor of receiving honorary doctorates from 48 universities से उनको डॉक्टरेट यहाँ पे अवार्ड किया गया है, एन इंस्टीट्यूशन फ्रॉम इंडिया एंड अब्रोड. ठीक है, ही वॉज sworn in as India's 11th president in 2002 and completed the full term in 2007. So between this period, he was the 11th president of India. He planned programs to produce a number of successful missiles, which helped earn him the nickname Missile Man of India. Because Kalam Saab jo hai, he is the pioneer of rocket technology or missile technology in the case of India. तो इसीलिए उनको Missile Man of India भी कहा जाता है. And yesterday also I covered about the K series, if you remember, the K series of missile, which is a nickname that has been given to SLBM. SLBM, that is the submarine launched ballistic missile. So this particular missile का जो series है, it is also known as the K series because K for Kalam. तो उनके respect में उनको एक tribute जैसे ये जो SLBM है, इनको K series भी कहा जाता है. Yesterday I covered about the K-15. So during his lifetime, he has been awarded with a number of awards. For example, the Padma Bhushan, which is a coveted civilian award in 1981, and the Padma Vibhushan in 1990. And finally, in 1997, he was awarded with the highest civilian award of India, that is Bharat Ratna. अब उनका जो literary works है, these are important because often it can be asked in the examination about the writer. अब देखिए ये जो Wings of Fire है, it is his autobiography, and the remaining works are the India 2020, My Journey, The Ignited Man. So these are important books. This is a list of books that I have given. If you are an avid reader, if you like to read, then you can also follow this books of Mr. Kalam. And his death, you should know that he died while delivering a speech at the Indian Institute of Management of Shillong on 27th of July 2015. Now let's look at the contributions of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam that he had to offer during his lifetime. So you should know that he was a pioneer in fiberglass technology. ठीक है, अब ये जो फाइबर ग्लास टेक्नोलॉजी है, दिस इज बेसिकली यूज्ड फॉर डिजाइन डेवलपमेंट ऑफ दिस प्रोडक्शन इन द कंपोजिट रॉकेट मोटर केसेस में. ठीक है, जो मोटर केस होता है तो उसमें ये फाइबर ग्लास टेक्नोलॉजी इंप्लीमेंट होता है. एंड ही बेसिकली लेड अ यंग टीम टू इनिशिएट दिस एफर्ट इन इसरो में. ठीक है, ही वाज अ पायनियर ऑफ दिस टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑल्सो इन द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द SLV-3, दैट इज सैटेलाइट लॉन्च व्हीकल. अब ये जो सैटेलाइट लॉन्च व्हीकल दैट इज SLV-3 है, इट इज नोन एज द इंडियाज फर्स्ट इंडिजिनस SLV. ठीक है, तो सैटेलाइट लॉन्च व्हीकल के केस में इंडिया फर्स्ट इंडिजिनसली बिल्ड. और ये जो प्रोजेक्ट था, इसमें ही वाज आल्सो द project director of this particular SLV development mission. ठीक है, now he successfully injected the रोहिणी satellite को inject किया था into the near earth orbit in July 1980 and made India. अब ये जो feat है या जो achievement है, now because this was indigenous in nature, because this was developed by the Indian scientists, इसीलिए this helped India to be a member of the space club. ठीक है, अब ये जो इंटरनेशनल स्पेस क्लब है, नाउ दिस इंडिया कुड बी अ मेंबर ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर स्पेस क्लब अंडर द एफर्ट्स ऑफ मिस्टर कलाम. ही वाज आल्सो रिस्पांसिबल फॉर द इवोल्यूशन ऑफ इसरो's लॉन्च व्हीकल प्रोग्राम, particularly the PSLV. So let's look at some other contributions of Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam. अब देखिए उनके बारे में, you should know about his indigenous guided missile program के बारे में. तो देखिए इसमें क्या था, about this guided missile you should know कि it works by tracking the location of the moving target in space by certain method. For example, radar technology. ठीक है, and it chases the target down and then it finally hits it with accuracy. तो ये जो guided missiles है, this basically follows the target and hits it accordingly. तो इस केस में देखिए उन्होंने क्या किया था, he already worked for 2 decades, that's almost 20 years उन्होंने इसरो में काम किया, where he had already told you about his SLV innovations. ठीक है, and finally he had joined the DRDO as the chief executive of this particular mission. ठीक है, तो ये जो प्रोग्राम है, जो मिशन है, it was meant for the development of the indigenous guided missile. He also led to the weaponization of strategic missile system and the Pokhran 2 nuclear test in collaboration with the Department of Atomic Energy. अब यहाँ पे देखिए जो Pokhran 2 test है, you must have heard about it. It is a series of nuclear bomb test explosions which were conducted by India at the Pokhran in May 1998. And this particular series of nuclear tests जो इंडिया ने किए थे, now this helped India in becoming a nuclear weapon state. ठीक है, and the next one is about the technology vision of the year 2020. तो बेसिकली 1998 में उन्होंने एक प्लान बताया था विच इज नोन एज दी टेक्नोलॉजी विजन 2020, थ्रू विच ही प्रपोज टू ट्रांसफॉर्म इंडिया इनटू अ डेवलप्ड नेशन. ठीक है, यू नो कि इंडिया इज लेस डेवलप और डेवलपिंग नेशन, तो ही बेसिकली वांटेड टू ट्रांसफॉर्म इंडिया इनटू अ डेवलप्ड कंट्री इन दिस 20 ईयर्स. ठीक है, और इसी को आप कह सकते हो कि ये जो प्लान है इसे इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए ही ऑल्सो रिकमेंडेड सम एरियाज टू फोकस ऑन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इंक्रीजिंग एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्टिविटी. इन इंडिया के केस में यू शुड नो कि मोर देन 70% 50% of the Indian population is engaged directly or indirectly in agriculture, and as such agriculture becomes the mainstay of the Indian economy. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए फोकस किया जाता है यहाँ पे. उन्होंने बताया था to focus on the agriculture productivity, and also they emphasize on science and technology. You know, he was a person, he was a believer of science and technology. He believed that technology as a vehicle for economic growth and also widening access to healthcare and education. And regarding the medical and healthcare भी उन्होंने यहाँ पे he had contributed because he collaborated with cardiologist B. Sona Raju and he designed a cost-effective coronary stent which is known as the Kalam Raju stent. अब ये जो Kalam Raju stent है, it is basically आप कह सकते हो कि it is a coronary stent which is a tube-shaped device placed in the coronary arteries में place किया जाता है that supply blood to the heart to keep the arteries open in the treatment of the coronary heart disease. तो heart disease या heart surgery के केस में इसे यूज किया जाता है और इसी इनोवेशन से आप कह सकते हो द डिवाइस लेड टू रिडक्शन ऑफ प्राइसेस ऑफ इंपोर्टेड कोरोनरी स्टेंट. तो इनिशियली हार्ट सर्जरीज जो थे वो काफी ज्यादा आप कह सकते हो कि इट वाज लाइक कॉस्ट इंड्यूसिंग था, लेकिन करेंटली अगर आप देखोगे जो प्राइसेस है इट इज रिड्यूस्ड बाय 50% बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इंडिजिनस इनोवेशन बाय कलाम व्हिच हैज लेड टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ दिस कलाम राजू स्टेंट. सो वीर कलाम जी, मैंने यहाँ पे दिया है एक प्रीलिम्स प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन, काइंडली आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. The next article is about the Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary. This is not based on a news, but an article or an editorial which has been written by Pradeep Kumar, where eagles do not dare. So through this we'll be trying to learn about the Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary. Now this can be important for GS paper 1 Indian geography point of view and GS paper 3 biodiversity point of view. And this you should know, this belongs to the state of Arunachal Pradesh and this has been taken from the Arunachal Times. So first we'll learn a little about this article, क्या कहा गया इस article में, and then we'll try to learn certain more facts about this sanctuary. The Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary, as you can see in this picture, it is in the West Kameng district. So here you can see Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary और यहाँ पे देखिए बोमदिला है. ठीक है, so इस केस में you should know that it is considered as a bird watcher's paradise. So the people, the tourists who love to watch bird can visit this particular sanctuary because it has an abundance of winged creatures of various types such as the babblers, warblers, then flycatchers, woodpeckers. So many birds are found in this particular sanctuary. But interestingly, eagle nest में eagle नहीं पाया जाता है. ठीक है, eagle is a bird species is not available in its forest. This is not the reason. आप देखिए यहाँ पे this is not named after the bird. ठीक है, wildlife sanctuary. It is actually named after an infantry that was of the Indian Army which was placed or deputed in this particular region. Now this is the 4th Infantry Division of the Indian Army which is also known as the Red Eagle Division. ठीक है, अब ये जो infantry है, that is this 4th Infantry Division of the Indian Army. Now they actually carry a particular logo या कह सकते हो insignia जिसे हम कहते हैं. तो they actually have the uniform में ये जो logo है Red Eagle वो मिलेगा. नहीं तो मान लीजिए इन their weapons वगैरह उनका vehicles में पाया जाता है this red marker. ठीक है, this red eagle logo. This is the reason why this the region is known as Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक है, और ये जो इन्फेंट्री है उनको यहाँ पे पोस्टिंग या डेप्यूट किया गया था बिकॉज ऑफ द चाइनीज एग्रेशन ऑफ द ईयर 1962. तो यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड अबाउट द इंडो चाइनीज वॉर ऑफ 1962. दिस वाज द रीजन व्हाई द ईगल डिवीजन वाज एक्चुअली नॉट डिप्लॉयड डायरेक्टली बिकॉज दे वर एक्चुअली मूविंग टुवर्ड्स तवांग. ठीक है, सो दे यूज दिस पर्टिकुलर रूट टू मूव टुवर्ड्स तवांग एंड दिस इज द रेड ईगल डिवीजन. They were deployed in the Kameng sector during the 1962 war against China. So you should know because of the disturbances and because of the aggression, ये जो tribes है like Sherdukpen, Bugun and Monpa, now they were isolated from the modern civilization, and it is also said that this is the reason why they would have the low literacy rates. So this you can see the emblem or the insignia of the 4th Indian Infantry Division which is also known as the Red Eagle Division. तो इसी कारण से इस वाइल्ड सेंचुरी को कहा जाता है Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary. So it is basically a protected area of India in the Himalayan foothills of the West Kameng district which I have already told you. It also conjoins or combines the Sesa Orchid Sanctuary to the northeast. तो ये जो वाइल्ड सेंचुरी है इसके नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन पे आपको मिलेगा Sesa Orchid Sanctuary and to the east you will find this Pakhui or the Pakke Tiger Reserve which is found in the neighboring district of Pakke Kesang. ठीक है, नाउ दिस यू शुड नो द ऑल्टीट्यूड रेंजेस आर एक्सट्रीम, दैट इज फ्रॉम 500 मीटर से 3250 मीटर तक ये एक्सटेंड होता है. इट इज ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ द कामेंग एलिफेंट रिजर्व. तो ईगल नेस्ट इज नोटेबल एज अ प्राइम बर्डिंग साइट ड्यू टू द एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी वैरायटी एंड नंबर एंड एक्सेसिबिलिटी ऑफ द स्पीसीज ऑफ वेरियस बर्ड्स. ईगल नेस्ट derive its name from the Red Eagle Division of the Indian Army which was posted in the area during the time of the Indo-Chinese aggression or the war of 1962. So these are some of the birds that we would come across in the Eaglenest Wildlife Sanctuary. Babblers, warblers, flycatchers. So this is the reason why this place, the sanctuary, is also like treated as a paradise by the bird watchers. And based on this topic, यहाँ पे prelims practice question है. Kindly answer in the comment section. The next article is about the Arunachal Pradesh Business Summit 2022. Now from this article, we'll try to have some knowledge about the economy of Arunachal, how it can be improved, how it can be enhanced. So the recent news says that Arunachal Pradesh Business Summit of the year 2022 was organized by the Arunachal Pradesh Innovation and Investment Park. This can be important, this can be asked in the prelims. At the APIIP, that is the Arunachal Pradesh Innovation and Investment Park का जो ऑफिस है in नीति विहार, यहाँ पे ऑब्जर्व हुआ था ये समिट. इसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे. Why this was organized? This can be important for GS paper 3 अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन आता है from Arunachal economy, and also an essay can be asked about the economy of Arunachal Pradesh and how to improve it and enhance it. So this can be important for our prelims as well, and this has been taken from the Arunachal Times. Now this Arunachal Pradesh Business Summit of the year 2022 was organized by the Arunachal Pradesh Innovation and Investment Park, ठीक है, at Itanagar. And ये जो event है, this was actually organized because there were two dignitaries who were present in this particular meeting. The number one is India's ambassador to Belarus, and the second one is India's High Commissioner to Tanzania. ठीक है, अब India's ambassador to Belarus is Alok Ranjan Jha, and the India's High Commissioner to Tanzania is Binaya Shrikanta Pradhan. So this you can see in the picture. These are the two dignitaries who were present in the meeting or the summit. So Alok Ranjan Jha said that Arunachal Pradesh needs to make concerted efforts to develop connectivity, make land available and improve infrastructure, and tap up the proper marketing of products in order to utilize its potential in sector. अब देखिए उन्होंने कहा है कि अरुणाचल का ह्यूज पोटेंशियल है in improving or enhancing the economy. बट यहाँ पे फोकस किस पे करना होगा? ऑन टूरिज्म, एग्रीकल्चर, फूड प्रोसेसिंग एंड टेक्सटाइल एंड हैंडीक्राफ्ट. सो दिस आर द एरियाज वेयर द अरुणाचल पीपल और द गवर्नमेंट शुड फोकस ऑन इन ऑर्डर टू improve or enhance the economy of Arunachal Pradesh. So the Planning Commissioner of Arunachal Pradesh was also present in a meeting on this summit, that is Prashant Lokhande, who spoke about the key investment sectors of Arunachal, that is hydropower, hydrocarbon, tourism and horticulture. So if the state and the people of Arunachal Pradesh, they focus in these areas, we can also be able to trade or export the produces, the output from the hydropower and horticulture as well. Because इससे हम क्या कर पाएंगे? We'll be able to enhance the economy of Arunachal Pradesh. Lokhande has also highlighted the state's hospitality, that is the hospitable or the friendly nature of the people, and quick adaptation to modernity despite being rooted in traditions. You know how the people of Arunachal are rooted to their culture and traditions, right? Arunachal Chamber of Commerce and Industries General Secretary Toko Tatun, he has also urged the state government to rejuvenate or redevelop the Stillwell Road. Now this was historically a very important route, which is also known as the Lido route. It is a long highway आप कह सकते that links northeast India with the Burma Road, which runs from Burma to China. And during the World War II, the Stillwell Road was a strategic military route. अब ये जो highway है, it crossed into Burma through the difficult Pangsao Pass of the Parkai range of the Arunachal Pradesh. देखिए, तो इसी कारण से if we redevelop this Stillwell, अगर हम इसे use करते हैं for the matters of international trade, we will be able to focus on regional development of the state as well. The potential in bamboo, agri-horti products जो है, palm oil and organic sericulture was also highlighted in this particular summit. So इसी topic के basis पर I have given an essay practice topic. If you write an answer, you can submit in the comment section. अब देखिए ये जो सारे ऐसे है, ऐसे बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट कैरीज अ ह्यूज मार्क इन केस ऑफ द मेंस पेपर, बिकॉज यहाँ पे ऐसे से आपको यू विल फाइंड अ पेपर, राइट, इंडिपेंडेंट पेपर विच इज बेस्ड ओनली ऑन ऐसे. तो मेक श्योर यू आर राइटिंग और प्रैक्टिसिंग द एसेज. तो कल का जो टॉपिक था, तो उसके बेसिस पर मैंने आपको एक प्रीलिम्स प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन दिया था, which was based on Global 100 Index of 2022. Let's look at the answer. Yes, the answer is 107. So India was ranked among 121 countries. तो काफ़ी poor है. Out of all the neighbors, I told you कि बस अफगानिस्तान से ही बस आ गया. बाकी सारा जो countries है, including Pakistan and China and Sri Lanka, सब इंडिया से आगे है. तो obviously steps must be taken to improve the rank. The answer is 107. So for now, that was all from our side for this session. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll meet the next one. Bye bye and take care.